Tell them it's 4-7 trade. Shout it, let them know where we represent 4-7 trade. The man is passing 4-7 trade. Them not crazy like where, cause we from 4-7 trade. Up in Mountain, we there. When it comes to vetting, we don't play. We not living beef until we say. Promoter and police can't move away. Not getting rid of we waste. We just for all our we days.
Number 6, Brady Charles. Number 21, Leon Braveboy. Number 14, Jose McIntosh. Number 11, Stephen Whiteman. Number 7, Rickson Phillip. Number 9, Veron Charles. Number 18, Sean Hutchinson. St. George's Royal Cannons starting lineup. In goal, number 22, Remy Williams. Captain, number 7, Kazim Theodore. Number 16, Christian James. Number 23, Raheem Stephen. Number 9, Roma Frank. Number 4, Jonathan Williams. Number 14, Raheem Griffith. Number 19, Kwesi Theodore. Number 17, Trevon Williams. Number 6, Kenny Francois. Number 2, Rickel Charles. Crown City Strikers is coached by Jelani Glynn. St. George's Royal Cannons is coached by Anthony Modest. The referees in today's match, Devon Roberts in the middle. He's assisted by Renan Radix and Kerry Maras. the fourth official, Andy Julian. Match commissioner today, Ron Joseph. The referee assessor, Valman Bido.
Good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to the third place playoff in the Pure Grenada Cup 2020. We're live here at the National Stadium, that's the Kirani James National Stadium in Spice Capital, St. George's, Grenada, and we're so delighted to bring the broadcast to you wherever you are, and we do hope that you will have a very exciting evening with us as the folks from TNR Communication along with the Grenada Football Association brings to you live football action wherever you are. I'm Leslie Smith, and later on I'll be joined by Robert Samuel I to bring you the live commentary action. These two teams would have earned their spots for the third place playoffs coming through the semi-final rounds. As a matter of fact, the Crown City Strikers, they lost to the Big Parish Stars 4-0, and the Royal Cannons, a very unfortunate defeat against the Western Stars from St. Mark, going down 1-0. We expect this game to be a pretty interesting one. Nonetheless, they're playing for the third place playoffs, third place position. And we know what happens sometimes. Teams are not so keen on playing for third place as they would like to play for the championship honor. But I'm sure that the coaches and the players here today would come out and give up their best to entertain the fans who are here and you, the viewers who are out there on the various social media platforms, the Facebook in particular, on your mobile devices, your PCs, etc. So stay with us. It's going to be an exciting game that we presume from the start. To let you know, the Royal Cannons, they are in the red and white. They are currently in possession of the ball. And the Crown City Strikers in the green and white. The Royal Cannons defending the goal towards the city end, and the Crown City Strikers defending the goal towards the Cherry end of the stadium. So there is quite a lot for these teams to be playing for today in the third place playoffs. Remember, this is a competition where the top teams would be presented with monetary prizes. As we see the first shot coming in here, the first call to duty for goalkeeper Joe Max Wildman for the Crown City Strikers. Crown City Strikers coached by Jelani Glean and of course Anthony Nixon Modeste, the coach for the Royal Cannons from St. George. So it's still very early, but I can tell you from what we would have seen in the semi-final round, St. George's Royal Cannons really looked well. To me, that was the best game they played throughout the tournament so far. In the preliminary stages, they looked rather disorganized, but definitely in the semi-final against the St. Mark Western Stars, they looked pretty impressive, and Coach Nixon Modeste was impressed with the performance. Nonetheless, he was disappointed to a certain extent that his strikers were not able to convert the chances that they created. But it was a game in which several chances were created by both teams, and Crown City Strikers, on the other hand, did not have a very impressive semi-final game against the Big Parish Stars, and I'm sure they would want to redeem themselves in this game. As a matter of fact, they were on the recipient side of 2 red cards in the previous game, and that gives an indication of the level of disorganization that they had in that game. But I'm sure they would have regrouped since and are back for the third place playoff here against the Royal Cannons from St. George. Our referee today is Devon Roberts, and Roberts is assisted by Renan Radix and Kerry Marast, and of course Andy Julian, the fourth official. So nice conditions here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. As we see a free kick here taken quickly. I'm not sure the referee would recall this one. As a matter of fact, it was a quick play here, almost caught the goalkeeper off guard. That's goalkeeper Remy Williams for Royal Cannons. Quick free kick was taken, having to push that one over the bar. So the first chance on goal here for the Royal Cannons in what would have been maybe the 3rd minute of play. Stephen Whiteman, poor corner from Whiteman, as Royal Cannons looking to push forward here. Raheem Stephen, one that we can expect a lot from in this encounter. He's one of the main strikers here for the Royal Cannons. Didn't have the best of games in the semi-final game, but we know he is a player with good potential that can deliver when called upon to do so. That's Raheem here. Royal Cannons in the red looking to put some passes together. But have to deal with a robust defensive lineup so far from the Crown City Strikers. First offside of the game. Crown City Strikers looking to push through down the left-hand side. High back line, flat back line too being played by the Royal Cannons. As keeper Kenny Francois. The Royal Cannons been unfortunate again in the semis, having to finish with one-man shot. Cannons looking to control the middle of the field here. Goes out wide now. Some good defensive work here by Joe Max Wildman. Being on top of the play and reading this one nicely. It's going to be a corner for the Royal Cannons. Second corner of the match, so either team would have had one corner so far. Rikel Charles starting today. Didn't start in the semi-final round, came off the bench, but has started in the preliminary games. Curling towards the front post and was able to find one of his teammates here, but the flick on was not able to find any of the other. That's Roma Frank, who got the flick on here, looking to find maybe Kazim Theodore on the back post, and not been able to do so. Here comes the Royal Cannons again. Some with a very fast tempo in the semi-finals. Playing much slower tonight. So too is the Crown City Strikers. Crown City Strikers, I think one of the bigger issues in this year's tournament is that they don't have a sharp shooter up front or a good striker in their lineup. As a matter of fact, most of their goals have been scored by their defense and their midfields. As a matter of fact, the leading goal scorer is Kieran Monroe, and he plays out of the back lineup. Also, Chadmark has 2 goals, Brady Charles 2 goals, and Leon Braveboy 2 goals. So none of the strikers have actually scored for them in the tournament. And to me, that was one of the issues with the Crown City Strikers in the 2020 Pure Grenada Cup. So Royal Cannons with a throw-in. That's going to be taken by Roma Frank, looking for Raheem. Raheem turns on his man nicely. Got the cross in, but only to find the defense of the Crown City Strikers. It's going to be another throw-in for the Royal Cannons. Royal Cannons concentrating a lot of the attack down the right-hand side of the field, attacking the left defensive area of the Crown City Strikers. Joe Max Wildman comes off his line and makes the save here to avert any danger for the Crown City Strikers. Finds Whiteman now in the middle of the field, who goes out wide. And coming on the right hand side, good ball here by the Crown City Strikers to find Veron Charles. And closing in quickly on him as a defense for the Royal Cannons. But a nice through ball here to find Charles coming in on the right hand side here, but the cross wasn't a good one, And it's going to be a corner for the Crown City Strikers. Corner to be taken by Chad Mark. Chad Mark, as I mentioned, has 2 goals in the tournament so far. Not a particularly good corner by Charles. By Mark, sorry. So Whiteman with it here. Whiteman goes out and finds Charles. Charles looking to slip this one forward here, but closed down by Cannons. And a good ball being played here now. Collects, and the cross is not a particularly good one, but some good pressure applied here by the Cannons. Cannons by the Crown City Strikers, I beg your pardon. They're still in possession of the ball. Just outside of the penalty area. Finds Chad Mark, who curls this one, but goalkeeper Williams comes out quickly and makes a save. Starts to play quickly in the right back position. And he has with him in the right back there so we're going to continue to play here now. It's Raheem Stephen for the Cannons. Stephen and Williams in combination. Losing out to Crown City Strikers. So both teams trying to settle into a nice rhythm here. No team really has the ascendancy, so to speak. Still early stages. We just about the 11th minute of play. Cannon's been called to do some defensive work here. As we see Kazim Theodore making the clearance to relieve some pressure on his defense. So not much action except for the 2 strikes on goal by either teams. So a snap free kick been taken by Crown City Strikers, in which Williams had to power one over the bar. And then there was also a pretty much tame shot on Joe Max Wildman, who had no difficulty whatsoever in making the save. Marshall in the back. Sorry, Michael Mark in the back here for Crown City Strikers. Good recovery work here by Crown City Strikers. Chad Mark in the middle of the field. Looks right, looks left, looks right again. Opts to go towards the left. Nice ball here, fall call here. That must be a foul, and that may very well be a yellow card. Not to show what referee Roberts might be considering here. There was definitely a collision just outside of the penalty area. And it seems as though it's Chad Mark that was fouled here. And that may just be a good opportunity for Crown City Strikers to have a sniff on goal. Apparently the call was not made. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Royal Cannons. Looks like an obvious foul to me, not called by the referee. Play continues in the middle of the field with Crown City Strikers down the right-hand side now to find Charles. Again, Charles picking up a lot of good balls on the right-hand side. May want to make maybe better use of those opportunities. But might just be a good ploy here by Coach Jelani Glean to attack the Royal Cannons down that left-hand side. Royal Cannons come forward here now with Stephen. Right, Stephen looking for support. Finds an on-rushing. And what a miss here. Not sure what the intent was by the striker, but he had a clear opportunity. And a missed kick, it seems. But it was a good cross here made by Riquel Charles. Was able to find his striker who squandered an opportunity here in the early stages of this game. Crown City Strikers continue to apply the pressure, but caught in an offside position. It's Brave Boy. So it's still nil in this encounter between the two teams vying for the third place in the 2020 Pure Grenada Cup. The St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers against the Royal Cannons from St. George. So the play continues here with some defensive work required by the Crown City Strikers. And it was Mark who was able to save the day and clearing the ball into touch for a corner for the Royal Cannons. And it's actually the second corner for the Royal Cannons in this match so far. This one to be taken by Kazim Theodore. Curls towards the back post. Joe Maxwellman goes up and makes the timely save here to give another corner on the opposite end of the goal now. And I see the likes of a Rickel Charles, who's going to use the left foot to curl this one again towards the back post, I would think. But I'd just like to let you know that none other than Robert Samuel the first has joined me now for commentary action. Good evening, Robbie.
Pleasant evening, my brother. And pleasant evening to all our viewers.
So it's live action here at the Kiani James National Stadium, downtown St. George. And Rickel Charles is going to have a corner here for the Royal Cannons of St. George. Pretty decent corner here, but I thought there was maybe a little bit of confusion between the two Royal Cannons players. It's still within the penalty area of the Crown City Strikers, having some difficulty making the clearance. Have done so now. But Robbie, with just about 15, 16 minutes gone in this encounter, it's still 0-0. None of the teams have really asserted themselves to say they're looking the better of the two teams. It's almost even Stevens. Both teams have had one or two opportunities on goal. Maybe Crown City Strikers having the better one, having a snapshot from the free kick, and Williams having to par it over the bar. Joe Max Wildman has been called to duties a couple times as well, but we have not seen that same level of aggression and vigor that we saw from the Royal Cannons in the semi-final stage. Remember that Crown City Strikers didn't have their best game against the Big Parish Stars in their semi-final encounter, but both teams here looking for some bragging rights maybe, and maybe for some monetary prize as well in the third place playoff.
It's a consolation game, and a lot of times the consolation games like these, the third place, they don't have that much vigor. You know, the teams are still disappointed with the results from the semi-finals, so yeah, you don't see that same aggression. But nobody still wants to lose.
Definitely so. As a matter of fact, from my own analysis, I thought the Crown City Strikers was sort of disappointed and dejected from the performance in the semis. We're going to continue with that as Rickel curls this one to the front post. Heads go up. St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers trouble in clearing the ball. Good move here to come out of trouble. And some calm there as well from the defensive lineup of the Crown City Strikers. And I was making the point that, you know, they received 2 red cards in the semis and a thrashing, so to speak, from the Big Parish Stars. So they would have left the semis pretty hurt. On the other hand, I think the Royal Cannons may have a different feeling of disappointment from the semis, thinking that they would have played a superb game, but the Western Stars were just too much for them maybe on the day and beating them 1-0.
I thought without without the red card, they had a pretty good chance of winning the game. The red card against Voss Robinson really gave the Western Stars the hole that they wanted to crawl into.
So Crown City Strikers inside of the penalty area. Good move. Shot on goal, but it rebounds off the defender. And it's going to be a corner for Crown City Strikers.
Good to see Remy Williams in goal this evening for the Royal Cannons. It's his first appearance in the tournament.
As a matter of fact, on the starting lineup, we were told that it was going to be Trishan Thomas. But on the very last minute, Remy Williams was called to duty to be the custodian of the goal for the Royal Cannons.
Both Thomas and Williams were 17 years old. Pretty young keepers. Likewise, Joe Max Wildman of the Crown City Strikers. Very encouraging for the U19 coach, national U19 coach, that he can have this good quality talent on display.
Crown City Strikers into Wildman. Wildman back. Crown City Strikers looking to come on down that right-hand side. A crowded right-hand side for them. And the Royal Cannons, Rhyme Stephen. Not a good pass here. So Raquel Charles starting today, Robbie?
Yes. Quality player.
Rhyme Stephen inside of the penalty area. Looking for support. Support is not coming. Opting to cross. Wildman trying to make the clearance here, but recovers nicely. Takes it down nicely as well as Wildman. As Crown City Striker looking to muster a counter attack here. Keeper off his line very early. Luckily for him, the play is broken down. Against Crown City Strikers enjoying some possession just outside of the penalty area. One man having to contend with two Royal Cannons defenders. But Crown City Strikers still has it here. Tough tackle here on Wildman. Eventually Roberts indicating is a foul against the Royal Cannons. Wildman is down. Sorry, Stephen Whiteman is down.
Yeah, he got hit there by number 9 of the Royal Cannons. That's Roma Frank.
I thought the referee may be wanting to play the advantage here, but recognizing that Roma Frank then committed another foul.
Yeah.
Had no choice but to call the play to a stop. So 2 players seems to be down. Stephen Whiteman is down. So too is Leon Braveboy. Leon Braveboy, Robbie, 2 goals in the tournament so far. I mean, that's his last game in the tournament.
Yes, another bright spot for Crown City Strikers. Braveboy recently got some national selection, got some national caps in the recent qualifiers, Gold Cup qualifiers. A player to look at the future. A lot of clubs have been regionally. I've been talking about him. I know he went for a trial in Trinidad. There's even talk about him going to play one of the lower divisions in Europe.
So it's a free kick for Crown City Strikers. Taken by Chad Mark. Also 2 goals in the tournament so far.
Would have liked to see Brady Charles behind this free kick. We saw what he can do, what he did with free kicks in this tournament.
Let's see how Remy Williams will stand up to this one as well. been asked to start for Cannons today. Kick comes in and just wide of the upright, but seemed to have been covered there by Remy Williams. But not a bad effort by Chad Mark. Charles down the left hand side looking for Stephen. This white man who is going to start the play all over for Crown City Strikers. White man, the engine man, or the man in the engine room, so to speak, for Crown City Strikers. Looking for support. Goes wide and finds Kieran Monroe. Strong move here by Cannons. Raheem Stephen looking to slip that one through. Robbie, had that one gone through, could have been a dangerous move here by the Royal Cannons against.
I love the move there by Griffith and linking up with Raheem Stephen. Griffith, the left full back of the Cannons. Another youngster in Raheem Griffith, only 18 years old.
Notice how deep Roma Frank is playing today as well, Robbie.
There must be a different strategy being tried by Coach Anthony Modeste.
Still within the danger area here. Raheem Stephen not connecting this one nicely. Would have loved to have a better, or maybe a second chance at that one, Raheem Stephen.
Certainly.
Crown City Strikers favoring the left-hand side of the field a lot today. Maybe they see some weakness in Jonathan Williams on the right back position for the Royal Cannons.
After the semi-final, the Cannons versus Western Stars, that was one weakness is spoken a lot of, that right back position of the Cannons. So I'm sure Coach Glean would have looked at that game, saw that weakness, and obviously within his strategy worked a plan of attack against the Cannons using that left-hand flank where Williams is a defender.
Well, Coach Glean had quite a lot to say after the semi-final encounter.
Yes, he did.
And let's see if he can make amends for a better performance today from his team. So far, his team is looking good. Crown City Strikers looking good, creating some chances, enjoying some possession just in and around the penalty area of the Cannons. But the Cannons, to me, their strength is always on the counter-attack and using their speed to move forward.
A notable absence today is DeAndre Smith. I realized that they started Rickson Phillip rather than DeAndre Smith. As a matter of fact, I'm not even seeing Smith in the 18-man squad.
We were not certain who were the players who got the red card on the bench last game. There were two players on the bench who got red cards.
It was the backup goalkeeper, Wavell Benjamin, and assistant coach Shakalogi.
Shot comes in here, but it's high and wide. No real challenge for Joe Max Wildman. Joe Max Wildman, Robbie, a pretty impressive goalkeeper,
yes,
and having a decent season as well.
Yes, very good goalkeeper. I think some might criticize that his only probably weakness is his height. I think he makes up for it through his agility.
So we're just coming up to the half-an-hour mark, and it is still 0-0 in the third place playoff in the Pure Grenada Cup. Match between the Royal Cannons from St. George and the Crown City Strikers from St. Patrick. An appeal here, but he was never going to make it against three defenders. Crown City Strikers teaming up nicely here, double teaming and triple teaming. It's back with Joe Max Wildman. Crown City Strikers all over the middle of the field. Nice ball being played forward here. Goalkeeper not coming off his line. That should be goal number 1 for Crown City Strikers. Indeed it is. It's goal number 1. It looks like Leon Braveboy. Chadmark, I beg your pardon. Chadmark, the goal scorer here. He takes his tally in the tournament to 3. But I thought the goalkeeper really stood on his line too long and maybe could have come out and applied some more pressure on Chadmark. But it's 1-0 in favor of the Crown City Strikers, Robbie. A good pass been coming from the midfield. I was just making the point that they had a lot of possession in the midfield, and that ball really caught the defense up. A backline that was very flat, napping, and Chadmark was able to run past them, lob it over the goalkeeper for a good
Very
goal.
good finish there by Mark. Love to see that composure, the finesse. Very good finish. Yes, you're right. The backline was caught napping, pretty much flat. The goalie, I think he was caught between two minds, a bit hesitant because he had the support, or what he thought might have been the support of the backline, but realized that they got caught out. So he left a bit late.
Yeah, I thought so too, because the ball remained in the air for quite some time.
Yeah.
It bounced, and here comes Crown City Strikers again, still in danger zone, but the kick is not a good one. The shot on goal, not a good one. And the defense of the Royal Cannons in Raptors at the moment.
You know, I mean, I looked at their body language right after the goal, and it reminds me of the game against the Western Stars, where everybody is just drooped. But it's early. I mean, it's only 30 minutes into the game. It's so much time for an equalizer, so much time for them to even get the go-ahead goal. But I think that's a problem with the Cannons that I noticed over the tournament, and especially in the semifinals, is a lack of leadership. And I'm not speaking to reference of just a captain. I'm speaking about the senior players stepping up and encouraging the junior ones and saying, you know what, guys, even though we're down, let's go. There's still time. We can still rally. We can still get back in this game. You know, there are not enough. The senior ones, they are not vocal enough.
Well, they have their work cut out for them today, because St. Patrick Crown City Strikers, they're leading this one 1-0. And Chadmark continues to find his name on the score sheet. It's his 3rd in the tournament. And I'm sure he'll be looking to see how much more he can get today.
Chadmark has been the best player for Crown City Strikers throughout this tournament. It's not just his ability to score the goals, but he has been forming that true link between the defenders and the strikers.
But we must also give credit to the midfield of the Crown City Strikers. I'm thinking here that I've seen them enjoying a lot of possession and striking a number of passes together. Shot comes in here from Crown City Strikers. The Royal Cannons under tremendous pressure here. Now you can see it also telling on goalkeeper Williams. Young Williams been called to duty on several occasions now. Crown City Strikers playing for the money here tonight.
Williams, a former student of the PBC. Look at that again. Again, you see the defenders falling asleep. Look how easy it was for that lone striker in the midst of all these defenders.
But again, we have to look at where the balls are coming from, that midfield area, and then the cross. And one attacker amongst 3 defenders, and still being able to pick that ball up. The defense of the Royal Cannons really disorganized at this time, and I believe part of the disorganization is the tremendous pressure that is being applied by the Crown City Strikers. They come in fast and furious in their attacks with good build-up from the midfield, from the likes of a Whiteman and a Jose McIntosh on the left-hand side. Really enjoying some possession and giving the backline of the Royal Cannons some extra work to do.
You know, that has been the strength of the Crown City Strikers throughout the tournament, has been the midfield. The bulk of the goals came from the midfield. Brady, Leon Braveboy, Chadmark, they're the ones who are scoring the goals. And as you said, not discounting the efforts of a Jose McIntosh and Stephen Whiteman. The pressure came from the midfield.
I think that's the best I've seen Whiteman in the tournament so far. He's a guy that always seems to be getting the ball, but not all the time he makes those
passes,
positive passes,
yes,
you know, and accurate passes as well. But tonight he's having a pretty decent game. So Monroe is going to take the throw here for one free kick for Crown City Strikers.
Monroe scored 3 goals in his first 2 games, but then playing a different role since. If you realize he's back on the flank now, whereby he was playing for the last 2 games in the centre back, and I think that cramped his style on running forward and scoring the goals.
Those ball picked up here by the Royal Cannons. Looking to come forward are the Cannons. Again, Crown City Strikers in the middle of the field looking to slip that one forward here now. The defense is having some problems in clearing here and having to concede a corner. It was good pressure applied here by Veron Charles. Veron Charles have been seeing a lot of the ball in the first half so far. Not too impressed with all that he has been doing with those balls that he has been receiving, but has been pretty much involved in the offensive attacks of the Crown City Strikers.
That has been their struggle throughout the tournament, their strikers. They haven't had a pairing of striker or even a single striker that has really been outstanding or really raised his hand and say, you know what, I'm going to give some trouble tonight. None of their strikers have looked impressive.
Corner directed to the back of the 6-yard box. It is still with the Crown City Strikers. Rickson Phillip. Given away easily here. There they come forward again. A deflection, but goalkeeper Williams equal to the task as well. That was Leon Braveboy coming on that left-hand side. Crown City Strikers with Michael Mark to Whiteman. Whiteman goes wide looking for Charles. Finds Charles.
Rickson Phillip.
Finds Phillip, I beg your pardon. And again, the Royal Cannons, Robbie, seems to be always looking to win possession of the ball. And that tells you that the Crown City Strikers, they're enjoying the greater possession and in the ascendancy at the moment with a 1-goal cushion ahead as well. Crown City Strikers maybe having the better of the first half so far.
No, it's good intention by the Cannons. Execution is going horribly wrong, but the intention is there.
So the question begs, what happened? Where is the kind of play that we saw from the Cannons in the semi-final? The accuracy of the passes, the fast movement forward, the cohesion that seemed to have gone. And maybe you made a point, teams playing for a third place playoff don't come out with the same enthusiasm as they would do on other games. So the corner taken, cleared by the Crown City Strikers as they look to press forward with some speed here now. Good ball forward again. That could be goal number 2. Gets around the goalkeeper who tackles him. That would be an obvious red card here, Robbie. And it happened just outside of the penalty area as indicated by the referee now. But what a pass, Robbie.
Wicked delivery there by Leon Braveboy. Connected. That should be a red card. Because it was a blatant attempt to foul the striker.
So let's see what comes out here.
Yeah.
And it is indeed the red card to goalkeeper Williams. Very unfortunate for the young goalkeeper, but he wasn't left with much of a choice. He really had to confront the striker, and he went for ball, Robbie, in my opinion. Clipped the striker, and that's an obvious red card. Let me see it again.
He went for the ball. He kicked that guy on his knee.
So it's an obvious red card.
It's a red card. It's a crazy
I would
move.
still say, he challenged. He came out to challenge the ball, was late in his tackle, definitely, and have to head to the showers now.
I mean, if you realize you can't get it, just let him go.
But look at St. Patrick's Kong Strikers, Robbie. Look at that pass. I mean, to find Chad Mark. And Chad Mark definitely would have buried that one. He already scored 1 in this game. He had 2 previously. He's looking good tonight. And
I mean, look at it. He wrongs the keeper. He's left. I mean, it kicks him, not even on the front foot, kicks him on the back foot.
And Ryan Griffith, who was the last defender who would have seen a Chad Mark, really was sleeping there. Didn't really close the gap that was left by the central back. And maybe he foiled the offside trap as well by remaining behind and preventing the offside from being called. But good football by Crown City Strikers. We must give them the credit for how they've been playing as Royal Cannons in shambles here, just on the verge of the first half, having to continue the rest of the game with at least 10 men at this stage. And it's always unfortunate when your goalkeeper has to go off. It means that you either make a substitution and bring in a goalkeeper, or one of your on-field players would have to continue as goalkeeper.
Well, we saw what being a man down did to them against the Western Stars, so I expect the same result here tonight. Lucky for Coach Modeste, he has the likes of Jonathan Williams there, who is also a goalkeeper. So he's not just a stand-in person, he can actually goalkeep. But eventually he will make a sub and bring on probably a Trishan Thomas, or leave Williams in goal and bring on someone else in defense.
I believe there might be an issue with Trishan Thomas. He was actually listed to start, and I would have thought the substitution would have been. The shot comes in into the wall, but it is still with Crown City Strikers. Cross comes in. Again, Cannons having a lot of difficulties clearing and giving away the ball easily here. Whiteman treads it nicely here to find, it's like Brave Boy. That's Chadmack, I beg your pardon. Chadmack slips it nicely forward, but intercepted by the defense here. Charles not being able to connect with this one. Still back with Charles. And finds Griffith now on the left back, who makes the long kick forward. But there are three defenders here who seem to have been in a little mix-up, but recovered nicely. And Crown City Strikers would start it all over again. Crown City Strikers looking to come forward. Whiteman. Marshall in the midfield. Expertly here today is Whiteman. Philip finds Chad. Back to Whiteman. Back to Chad. Brave Boy being involved here. Phil picks it up here nicely now. So Crown City Strikers having a lot of possession, and the Royal Cannons really backpedaling, trying to recover the ball.
Yeah,
still with the Crown City Strikers, Robbie.
They need to step up. The defenders, they need to step up.
Look at the difficulty they have in just making the simple clearances. Romar Frank,
as you said
call
earlier,
back.
They're rejected. And that's where you need leaders. That's where you need your senior players to step up and encourage. Show some fight.
Well, they're in possession of the ball now, looking to find a Raheem Stephen, who picks up a bad miss here by Michael Mark. Goalkeeper Joe Max Wildman having to play the last defender role here, Robbie. But a bad miss here by Michael Mark, giving away to Raheem Stephen.
Yeah, too many times in the tournament that you see that when the mistakes happen, they normally come from Michael Mark. Could be slowing down in age and coming up against a young striker, 19-year-old Raheem Stephen, would always pose a challenge to the likes of a Michael Mark.
But a good save here by Joe Max Wildman.
Very good.
Seeing the danger and coming forward and averting danger for his team to maintain the one-goal advantage in this game.
Joe Max Wildman reads the game really good, Smitty. I mean, for a player his age, he reads it really good.
Has been very impressive in the tournament. Maybe under consideration for goalkeeper of the tournament. Let's see what happens in the finals later on tonight. Rickel Charles, who takes all the corners on that side of the field for the Royal Cannons. You can see 5 Royal Cannons players inside of the penalty area. Corner not a good one, low and directed towards the front post. Here comes the Crown City Strikers again, down the left-hand side now. The pass may be a little bit behind the player, and he was not able to connect and pick up cleanly.
It's the second corner for the Royal Cannons. I have noticed there's no player on top of the box waiting for the rebound. As a matter of fact, the last play led to the goal, led to the foul, sorry.
So maybe they're thinking that we one goal down, we one man short as well. We don't want to overcommit at this stage to rule ourselves out of contention in the match.
But even with 11 men, they did the same thing. You know, they're not aggressive enough.
Well, I like what I see from Crown City Strikers tonight. We didn't see that from them in the semi-finals, where they were actually taking control of the game, stringing passes together, and slipping some nice balls forward for the likes of Chad Mark and Leon Braveboy. And the midfield is really, really in control of the game here today.
You know why? They weren't allowed to do it against the St. Andrew Big Parish Stars because, if you remember, Earldon Millett and Stefan Abraham, they took control of the midfield. So it's not necessarily that Crown City weren't able to deliver. They weren't allowed to deliver.
So we saw the first call to duty there for replacement goalkeeper. Player down.
Physio of Crown City is really busy tonight.
Yeah, they seem to be on the receiving end of a lot of the tackles and a lot of the injuries as well. Coach Jelani Glean, Robbie, might be sitting comfortably now going into the halftime interval.
Somewhat, yes, I agree. Up 1-0 and up a player as well. Won't be satisfied until probably it's 2 or 3 goals up, but certainly pleased.
So we're approaching the end of the first half in this, the third place playoff in the Pure Grenada Cup 2020. The player receiving some attention there from the medical team was Chad Mark. He has actually been the goal scorer for the Crown City Strikers. That's him here on screen. And has had a very impressive tournament for his team as well. 3 goals. Crown City Strikers looking to build from the back. But look at again how deep Charles is playing. We know him to be playing on that outside left side of the field. As we see the indication here now for time added on for stoppages by Andy Julian. So when you have a Charles playing that deep, and even Aroma Frank, it really takes away from the firepower that the Cannons normally would have.
Yeah, Charles playing almost like a number 6, and that's not his position. That kind of holding midfielder, that's not his position. Yeah, he's more of a number 8 or number 11, somebody more attacking.
Yeah, you really want him to run that left side of the field and make those telling crosses. That's what he's very comfortable with. That's what we come to expect from him over the years. But some structural adjustment having been made by Anthony Modest, and with one man down again, I mean he really has to do a lot of juggling with his players and readjustments. As Crown City Strikers come forward again inside of the penalty area, cuts it nicely, has a shot on goal and scores! It's goal number 2 for the Crown City Strikers. Just on the verge of the first half, they go up probably 2-0.
Congratulations there to Leon Bravo. I don't know if that's a sign that his ladies expected. Normally when players do that, it's because their ladies are expected. But good finish and well composed by Leon Bravo. He had it on either foot. He could have taken it on the left foot at the first chance, relaxed and completed it with the right.
But what I continue to emphasize on is the build-up towards the goals. It was not a loose ball that was picked up. It was a methodic approach from the back, stringing some passes together through the midfield and finding a Leon Braveboy in a good position. He took on the defense, got around him, and had a very composed shot on goal, picking his spot nicely and converting, bringing his team 2 goals up to 0. The whistle goes to indicate it's the halftime interval. Jelani Glean and his Crown City Strikers would feel very, very happy at this point in the game. Unlike the Royal Cannons, the Anthony Modest and company, they would think that they have their work cut out for them, trailing 2 goals down, Robbie, and 1 man short as well.
Yeah, I can't see a way back for them. I can't. I mean, as a matter of fact, I can only see them conceding more goals. I mean, and it's not necessarily only because of their style of play, but it's the spirit of their players. They're not into the game.
Well, Coach Anthony Modest would definitely be looking towards his bench. He has Clinton Jones, Benjamin Etienne, John Telesford, Al Romain, Brian Andrew, and Henson Coffey.
Yeah,
we have not seen Henson Coffey featured in the tournament. Maybe that might
only
just
the
be...
opening game. Only the opening game against the Big Parish Stars. But in terms of the back, if he's looking for help at the back, then uh, it might only be a Clinton Jones, who probably could play in the back line. He's more of a defensive midfielder. Outside of that, all of his options seem to be attacking midfielders or strikers. So it's an uphill challenge for Coach Modeste. He's a very experienced campaigner, and hopefully he can pull his troops together. But it's a really difficult challenge for him.
Well, time alone will tell Robbie what the coaches are discussing during the halftime interval, and we look forward to see which team comes out with more aggression and hungrier for the victory in this, the third place playoff in the Pure Grenada Cup 2020. We will be back with more live action on the other side of the half. Stay tuned.
Is now online?
Yes!
And did you also know you can win up to $10,000?
Yes!
So, have you tried it yet?
Yes! Hey! Sunday, October 18th. Get ready for the 8th edition of Waggy T's Virtual Bingo. Lots of people are enjoying the fun and excitement.
And this time, you can win
$10,000.
Tickets are only $10 or 27 EC. Available from gotofed.com or numerous box offices island-wide. Still having problems signing up? Then visit the main office at Brew Street or call 440-4646.
Remember, Sunday, October 18th.
The games are virtual, but the cash is real.
Waggy T Virtual Bingo, the new way to play bingo.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call Waggy T Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Waggy T Generator Rentals. We are Grenada's standby power people. Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
Hey, did you know Waggy Bingo is now online? Yes! And did you also know you can win up to $10,000? Yes! So, have you tried it yet? Yes! Hey! Sunday, October 18th. Get ready for the 8th edition of Waggy Virtual Bingo! Lots of people are enjoying the fun and excitement. And this time, you can win $10,000. Tickets are only $10 or 27 EC. Available from GoToFed.com or numerous box offices island-wide. Still having problems signing up? Then visit the main office at Brew Street or call 440-4646. Remember, Sunday, October 18th.
The games are virtual, but the cash is real.
Waggy Virtual Bingo, the new way to play bingo.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call Waggy T Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Waggy T Generator Rentals. We are Grenada's standby power people. Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
Hey, did you know Waggy Bingo is now online? Yes! And did you also know you can win up to $10,000? Yes! So, have you tried it yet? Yes! Hey! Sunday, October 18th. Get ready for the 8th edition of Waggy Virtual Bingo! Lots of people are enjoying the fun and excitement. And this time, you can win $10,000. Tickets are only $10 or 27 EC. Available from GoToFed.com or numerous box offices island-wide. Still having problems signing up? Then visit the main office at Brew Street or call 440-4646. Remember, Sunday, October 18th.
The games are virtual, but the cash is real.
Waggy Virtual Bingo, the new way to play bingo.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
We welcome you back, viewers, to the live action at the Kirani James National Stadium in the third place playoff for the Pure Grenada Cup 2020. The news is that the score is 2-0 in favor of the Crown City Strikers. A goal scored by Chad Mark in the 29th minute, and in the 45th plus minute, Leon Braveboy got the second one for the Crown City Strikers. A match pretty much dominated by the Crown City Strikers, especially in the middle of the field. And to bring you the live commentary is none other than Robert Samuel I and myself, Leslie Smith. Robbie, what would the coaches have been saying during the halftime interval?
Certainly, Coach Glynn was happy, and he would only tell them, guys, you know what, we're up a man, let's press them even more in the second half, and let us look for more goals, whereby Anthony Modeste might be looking to park the bus. Because down 2-0 with a man short, there ain't no way you can just come back and equalize. Although he made a sub, he brought in an attacking player, but it was a straight sub. It was Benjamin Etienne, striker, coming on for Kwesi Theodore, striker as well. So he's still trying to be positive, but I think just park the bus and concede defeat.
Well, Anthony Modeste, knowing him as I do, would never concede defeat at this stage of the game. I thought the sub maybe was a good one to bring in a Benjamin Etienne, because Theodore was not very much involved in the game as well, and didn't really threaten the defense for the Crown City Strikers. But can we identify anybody who threatened the defense of the Crown City Strikers?
Nobody, and again, I mean, you're down a man. I mean, how much can you do with a bunch of guys who are so dejected?
The Crown City Strikers, they on top of this game, within 2-0, and as we see the Royal Cannons looking to come forward here. Raheem Stephen on top of the box here, goes wide. The pass maybe just a little bit too late, and
you saw Etienne signaling him.
Benjamin Etienne on rushing there.
Sent to the front. It was more to the back of the player.
Replacement goalkeeper here, doing a good job, Robbie, in the early stage of the second half. And from the looks of it, it seems as though Trishan Thomas may have some injury, because Joe Max Wildman here not making a good clearance, and some sloppy defensive work here, but recovering nicely, using his body weight. There was Brady Charles. Good move forward here. Brave boy looking to challenge the defense here. Charles. Royal Cannons putting together some nice passes here. Team talk seemed to have worked to a certain extent in the halftime interval, because they've suddenly come out looking at different team in the early runnings of the second half.
Let's see how long they can keep that momentum, Smith. We have seen in previous games that the Cannons can play pretty much okay for the first 60, 65 minutes in a game, and then there's just this drop in momentum, and it might be a drop in fitness that's causing the break in momentum. But let's see, so far so good. It's a pretty tough job even motivating them. Coach Nixon, he must have had a lot to say, and let's hope for some improvement.
Rickson Phillip looking to display some extra skills here. Play with a lot of confidence now are the players from the Crown City Strikers. They're on top of this game. Fresh legs of Benjamin Etienne, Robbie, your expectations?
Pretty talented player, very skillful, pretty knowledgeable of the game, despite being so young, only 17. Yeah, a lot of 17-year-olds on the field tonight, Smitty. It's a good promise of football in Grenada.
Crown City Strikers again. Phillip. Still in the danger zone here. Crown City Strikers. Charles finds Whiteman. The return pass, not a good one. Whiteman recovers nicely here. Good ball movement here with Leon Braveboy. Braveboy goes wide and finds Charles again. Charles makes the cross here now. Not a good one. And I continue to make the point that Charles has been picking up a lot of good balls. But the passing, the decision making of Charles is questionable, and he's giving away some good possession for the Crown City Strikers. A lot of expectations on the shoulders of Rhyme Stephen as well for the Cannons. Not really coming into his own in this tournament.
Yeah, Rhyme has had his struggles.
Here comes Cannon now. With a missed kick here, but Cannon still has it with Etienne. And Etienne with this back on goal looking to curl this one forward, but only managed to get it over the bar. So it's a fresh look for the defense of the Crown City Strikers in the likes of Benjamin Etienne. There we see the missed kick again, and Etienne picking up the loose ball, looking for that right V, but only managed to get it way over the bar.
Yeah, Etienne replaced Theodore. Theodore's a very unassuming striker. He's not the kind of striker that defenders would out and out respect, but he scores. He finishes, he's a poacher, he's always there for the second ball. But he has had his struggles in the semi-finals and tonight. And Coach Modest might be looking for a bit more pace on top, hence replacing Theodore with Etienne.
Well, I like to a certain extent what I see from the Royal Cannons at the beginning of this second half. I mean, they look really dejected going into the halftime interval, but they come out a little bit more spirited in the second half and having some looks on goal as well. It's Crown City Strikers now. Rickson Phillip crosses nicely here, defended by the Cannons.
See both players there injured after that 50-50 clash between Quasim Theodore and Leon Braveboy. Both physios have been called into action.
Let me see what happened again. I think it was a 50-50 challenge here. Kazim was actually trying to make the clearance, and Braveboy looking to close him down. And both players colliding in the process, being given some medical attention now.
Both players are teammates of the national team, both Theodore and Braveboy. We see another young national hopeful, Christian James. did a stint in Germany last year into this year and was only got back here due to the COVID.
So it's Crown City Strikers inside the penalty area of the Royal Cannons. Whiteman goes out wide and finds Hutchinson. Back into Whiteman. Philip.
Ooh.
What a good ball movement here, and that looks like almost an own goal here by the Cannons. But look at the ball movement of the strikers inside of the penalty area.
Good movement. That's the kind of movement you want to see, and the kind of touches you want to see between the players.
So I make it about 3 players involved in those passes there. There was Hutchinson, Whiteman,
Rickson
Phillip,
Brave Boy, back to Phillip.
Corner was taken there. No danger to goalkeeper.
Is the kind of play that excites the crowd and wakes them up.
So we know, Robbie, that there are restrictions on the number of persons who can attend, but it would have been nice to see the hundreds or maybe the thousands here at the Kiani James Stadium to see the finals later on tonight.
Certainly. I know throughout the tournament you're only allowed 50. I don't know if there has been an increase, because you saw a lot of protocols being relaxed for the last 2 or so weeks. But you're right, it would be nice to have thousands here tonight. The stadium has a capacity of, 8,000? Even if you could have, let's say, a person in a seat and you skip every 2 seats or so, I would have nice to have, let's say, 2,000, 3,000 people here.
I would say at least 1,000 would have been a meaningful crowd, to witness the finals. Corner taken again by Charles, and it's always very low towards the front post.
It's always a challenge for players to play without the fans. You want the encouragement from the fans. The fans, they come like that like the 12th man. They encourage you, especially in this case for the Cannons. When you're down, you need the encouragement not only from your bench and your on-field players, but you also need it from your supporters.
A while ago we saw an effort there by Rhyme Stephen, and that basically sums up the kind of performance and that is put out through the tournament. I mean, it was really aimlessly.
Yeah, Stevens is a lot better than what we have seen through the tournament. He's going through a bad patch. Let's hope that he can come out of it soon. With the YT Super Knockout coming up, you have also the FA Cup, the GFA FA Cup. There's so many tournaments coming up. So he will need to regain his previous form.
Benjamin Etienne had 2 defenders to contest with, losing the ball in the process. Still with the Cannons here.
Shot.
Looking for support. Opting to chip over Joe Max Wildman. What a good retrieving save here by Joe Max Wildman. I mean, the striker really saw him off the line and chipped it. It was well directed and destined for goal. And a magnificent save indeed by Joe Max Wildman.
Good competition, good striker, good goalkeeper action, good competition.
Save of the day so far by Joe Max Wildman.
He must have been upset there with Jose McIntosh, who was a bit reluctant in making a challenge.
Still the Cannons looking to apply some pressure, playing with 1 man down. And a replacement goalkeeper, an on-field player actually, who is within the bars here now for the Cannons. And they are indeed applying some pressure on the Crown City Strikers, getting some fresh look on goal.
Joe Max Wildman is the son of Puppy, former national goalkeeper. So it's not only in his blood. I mean, he has a coaching. Having a father as a former goalkeeper, national goalkeeper, he has that coaching with him.
And Wildman, his father did have some ability, Robbie.
Yeah.
He was very agile on his feet and a good reader of the game as well. Royal Cannons with some possession now and having some pressure applied on the Crown City Strikers, but they break in now. Crown City Strikers down the left-hand side. It's going to be a speed challenge, but it's Griffith that came out with it for the Cannons and reset with his goalkeeper. Cannons coming down the left-hand side now. Looking to spread the play around. Good Sachin ball, but the striker been caught in the offside position. That's Kazim Theodore. But the intention on that play was good.
Yes, good intention.
The timing may be a little bit off, but the straight back lineup of the St. Patrick Crown City Strikers was almost caught on that occasion.
Christian James playing it across to Francois. I would love, as you said earlier, I would love to see Rikel Charles in a more attacking position. His position is always out of the game, and areas that he can't have really influence on.
You'd also think, Robbie, that Coach Modeste might be looking to his bench, looking maybe at Brian Baita Andrew, Henson Coffey, just to look at his striking power and trying to see if he can find maybe the consolation goal and then the equalizer.
I would love to see Al Romain here. If you think that Kwesi Theodore is unassuming, well, when you see Al Romain, you would say, well, nothing much will happen, but he's a danger. He's a rocket in a bottle. Diminutive player, but 5'3", really slender, but really aggressive, talented, skillful player, and one who can finish. We saw what he can do for Fontenoy, and if given a chance, he will be able to finish. So he might be an option for Coach Modeste. Al Romain.
So foul committed there by Christian James. The foul committed on Charles. But he's up and running. The play would resume. Seemed to have received a blow to the face, but nonetheless, he's up and running. Philippe for Crown City Strikers, unable to retrieve. Bad miss here by the defense for the Royal Cannons. Nonetheless, they recover. Benjamin Etienne called to do some defensive duties.
I haven't seen much of Roma Frank in this game.
Wow. It's getting a lot more physical now in the second half as well.
Yeah, especially Ryan Griffith. He has to be careful. I find, to me, has been fouling consistency. And, it's only a matter of time before a referee has a word with him or even issues a yellow card.
So Crown City Strikers, the game somewhat falling apart. We have not been seeing them enjoying the amount of possession and passing in the midfield. We see some sloppy work again from them. And the ball been given away easily by the Cannons. So it's going back and forth between the two teams at the moment. But here comes the Crown City Strikers down the right-hand side. Still with Crown City Strikers.
And that there is Monroe. Whenever he makes those long runs, always poses a threat to the back line of the opposed. Look at Monroe again.
And Monroe has been on the score sheet 3 times in the tournament so far. As we see a double substitution about to be made by the Crown City Strikers.
So Courtney Francis replaces Chad Mark.
And as we said, Chad Mark would have scored the first goal of this match in the 29th minute.
And Mark McQueen, he's also going to come in. He might replace probably a Jose McIntosh, or he replaces Rickson Phillip.
And 2 interesting substitutions here by Coach Jelani Glean. I thought Chad Mark was having a good game. He didn't show signs of tiredness yet. And I think it's just maybe too early for Coach Jelani Glynn to think that he has the victory in the bag. Considering also how we've seen the Royal Cannons improve their level of play in the second half. So maybe he would be thinking about strengthening the back lineup. But
no, I mean, with a sub with Courtney Francis for Chad Mark is a straight sub. I think it's just a matter of giving minutes to Francis. You are right. I think Coach Glynn probably thinks that he has this one in the bag, and I don't blame him. If I'm up 2-0 against a 10-man team, I would also think the same thing. Would I have a sub at Chad Mark with still 30 minutes left? Not too sure. But you know what? It's a third place game. Give players some minutes, and just give them encouragement and probably show some appreciation for just their effort throughout the tournament.
So Chad Mark leaves the tournament with 3 goals. He's had the first one tonight, and he had 2 previous goals. Pretty decent tournament for Chad Mark.
I think he had a brace against St. David.
So the fourth official tonight is Andy Julian. Seemed to have picked up something on the bench, and Coach Roberts has issued a yellow card to one of the Crown City Strikers players on the bench. And it maybe is a deja vu situation, Robbie. In the last game, 2 players on the bench got red cards.
Yeah, a player and a staff. The assistant coach got a red card, Shaka Loki, and Wavell Benjamin, the second choice goalkeeper, he also got a red card. So unfortunate when you have those distractions on the bench. And I'm looking at the team list for St. Patrick, and I'm not seeing a second choice goalkeeper. So that could be a dangerous move. I really thought that they probably had a third choice within the squad, so in the event that Benjamin is out, he'll just be replaced by some other goalkeeper, but I'm not seeing it. So let's hope that Joe Max Wildman could make the full 90 plus added on.
Crown City Strikers in the middle of the field. Whiteman finds Charles, who has now been switched over to the left-hand side. Seeing that Rickson Phillip is out. Veron Charles, we saw him mostly on the right-hand side of the field, but with the substitution being made, he's now been switched over to the left-hand side. And I would have thought maybe a Veron Charles would have been maybe a stronger contender for the substitution as against a Chad Mark.
Yes,
but we're not too sure what is the thinking of Coach Jelani Glynn, and that's the situation we have here with the team.
Probably a Travis Fullerton might have been a sub for Charles, but if you look at the bench that Glynn has, he has Tevin Grant, Levi Batiste, and Lister James, all defenders. Travis Fullerton also has played a bit in the backline, but we know he's more of a winger or attacking midfielder. What's his last option also is Stephon St. John. But he mostly has defenders on his bench. So even if he chooses to shut down the game, whether he chooses to mix and match and play 1 or 2 in defensive midfield, holding position, he can do it.
Charles slips a nice one forward here, but not well controlled by McIntosh. And running out of some real estate here is McIntosh, but a good ball by Veron Charles.
McIntosh is the kind of player that can change a game so easily. So much talent in that little structure. For the past 2-3 years, I've seen how he carries Eagles. Actually captains Eagles.
Strong tackle here. Charles comes out with it. Looks a little dodgy here for the offside.
Yes.
Eventually, Roma Frank it is who is caught in the offside position. But the Cannons not going down without a fight. I would say Robbie still looking to attack the goal of the Crown City Strikers.
You know what, Smith? I mean, give the Cannons some credit. Being down a man, they have shown a better fight. Playing probably a man down, they have shown a better fight than when they had 11 men on the field.
Well, they've looked a lot more purposeful in the second half for sure than we saw them in the first half. As a matter of fact, they went into the dressing room very dejected.
Yes.
At that stage, they were trailing 2 goals down and 1 man short as well. Goalkeeper Remy Williams, picking up the red card. Another offside been called here.
Again on Frank. Struck Michael Mark in his face. Mark just checking to see if he's bleeding, but he got a knock apparently in his nose. Yeah,
so the Crown City Strikers, Robbie, the player seems to be on the receiving end of a lot of the more physical tackles.
Here is Al Romain. So you understand what I was talking about. If physically he doesn't look like a threat, but trust me, he is a threat. He's trouble.
And is it Courtney Francis coming out who just went in?
No, it's a sub. It's a sub for Royal Cannons.
It was actually Raheem Stephen.
Yes.
Raheem Stephen, who has exited, and it's
Al Romain. I think probably Nixon is listening to our commentary. Oh. Al plays for the Fontenoy United. It's his first appearance in the tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a substitution for St. George's Cannons in the 69th minute. Number 23, Ryan.
There are also 2 more Fontenoy players on the bench. You have Clinton Jones, and you also have Henson Joby Coffey.
And we still have maybe 20 minutes or so left in regulation time. Teams are allowed 5 substitutions in this tournament, and they have 3 opportunities to make those 5 substitutions. And I would think both coaches would want to give a lot of exposure to some of the players who may not have been featured a lot in the tournament,
yes,
considering that that's the last game for either teams in the tournament.
I believe Coach Modeste is going to make another sub. He'll have to make, if he wants to use all 5, he'll have to make a triple sub. Because he only has 1 more chance and 3 more subs to bring on.
Crown City Strikers not looking the very organized unit that we saw in the first half. And even up front, occasionally, as we see a yellow card here being issued
to Brady Charles. No, I think his argument is his hand was in a natural position, but the referee disagreed. Handball. And his hand seemed to be pretty much on his side. I would agree with Brady. Captain Francois.
So again, we see from the last substitution, Coach Anthony Modeste would have made some structural changes again. Benjamin Etienne is now playing towards the left-hand side of the field. Earlier on, we saw him towards the right-hand side. So I'm not sure if he's making those cross runs or if it's some structural changes made by Anthony Modeste.
I think just a swap. He placed Riquel Charles, you know, as a strong left foot. So he just placed him on that right side. So in case if he makes a cuts like what we do with a Messi or a Kaka, makes the runs across the box and will get the crosses or the shots to the aiming at the far post. He's just looking to cut up the defense. Let's hope it works. You know what? Give Modeste his props. He's trying. He ain't bothering with someone like me who would say park the bus. You know, he hasn't given up. He has shown a lot of grit, and the message has been loud and clear to his players who are responding. Probably had they had that fight against Western Stars with the same man down, you might have had a different result, because against the Western Stars with the man down, they were totally dejected, and you just saw a change in their spirit, in their mood. And it's like they gave up. Unlike here, they're down 2-0 and a man down, and they are showing a better fight.
So for the last 10 minutes or so, Robbie, not much has been happening inside of the penalty areas of either teams. Not much strong attacking moves by either team. Out of the plays in the middle third of the field.
Yes.
And so the game has really lost some of the sting that we saw maybe towards the beginning of the first half, and definitely of the second half, and definitely in the first half. But a chance here for Crown City Strikers, and he finds the back of the net. Crown City Strikers goes 3 goals up here, and the backline caught unawares, goalkeeper caught unawares as well, and a simple, easy, well-composed goal here for Crown City Strikers.
Good finish here by Jose McIntosh. Missed there by Trevon Williams. Must have shadowed goalkeeper Jonathan Williams, but good composed finish here by Jose McIntosh, using the inner part of his right foot, curling the ball past the goalkeeper. Substitution, Charles goes out, but he's about to leave, and he's about to be replaced by Travis Fullerton. I think the coaches are listening to us, because he just mentioned Travis Fullerton has been an option for Charles.
So St. Patrick Crown City Strikers continue to extend on the lead that they had in the first half. They're now leading 3 goals to 0. And I think, Robbie, now Coach Modest can start packing the bus.
The buses are allowed full capacity right now in Grenada, so he can pack them as much as he likes. And would you say it's another defensive error by the Royal Cannons?
Well, to me, they were caught napping here. They were caught sleeping. Even the goalkeeper didn't make an attempt here. And then it was Trevon Williams, who maybe could have put out a better effort here in trying to intercept the ball. It actually went underneath his booth, and there was no chance whatsoever for the goalkeeper.
But you must give credit to Leon Brave Boy. All 3 goals were assisted by Brave Boy, each and every one.
And that's the kind of support structure that we're seeing here tonight from the Crown City Strikers. We saw the midfield being involved a lot in the build-up, and the Brave Boy, who has been up there and contesting for goals as well, providing good support to a Chadmark, and now we saw a Jose McIntosh.
Well, let me stand corrected. He assisted the other 2 goals, because he himself scored 1 for himself, but he's been involved in all 3. Certainly a contender for man of the match, Leon Brave Boy.
So let's see what impact the goal would have had on the Royal Cannons if they would bury their heads in the sand, and whether or not Crown City Strikers would take their feet off the gas as well and just coast home to the victory.
Brady Charles hasn't been supported in midfield as in previous games, but still making valid contributions.
We still have about 15 minutes left in regulation time, so it's not all yet done and dusted, and that means it can go on either side of the pitch. We can see more goals from the Crown City Strikers. We can see goals from the Royal Cannons as well, maybe to just lift their spirits. But having to play for more than 45 minutes with 10 men, it's a huge asking for any team.
Yep.
So what Crown City Strikers need to do, in my opinion, Robbie, is just to play possession football. Obviously, the Royal Cannons would tire out. They play with 10 men. Just play starboard, so to speak. Knock it around, frustrate the Royal Cannons. And then look for the opportunities for a Brave Boy to move forward. Or a Vernon Charles to come from the left-hand side. But that's what I would do at this stage of the game.
There's Leon Braveboy again. Probably got struck in his face. Yeah, it's a foul. Not too sure if it was on Williams or on Christian James. To me, he just lost his footing and saw the outstretched hand there by Williams, but would love to see the replay again.
A soft foul indeed. I think, he lost his footing, as you said, and in the process of going down, there was the contact from Williams. But nothing warranting that kind of reaction, I would think. But nonetheless, referee Roberts, right on the spot.
Yeah, he overran the ball. I mean, he didn't even get touch on his face. Look at that replay. He got touch on his back. So, the Golden Globe goes to Leon Braveboy.
Free kick for Crown City Strikers. Stephen Whiteman is one of those players who always like to line up behind it.
So there looks as a final sub. Looks like Telesford, Jamal Telesford. He goes in for Williams, for Trevon, Bobby Williams. So that's the final sub there made by Coach Modest. It's the first appearance for Telesford.
So Brady Charles.
Always on tackle with his free kicks, Smitty. Always a threat with the free kicks. Hits the upright, scores, gets it on tackle with the goalkeeper. Always a threat with those free kicks.
But he always has competition with this man here, Stephen Whiteman, for those free kicks as well.
Yes, or even if a Chad Mark was on. Seem to be the three kickers. Substitution in the 80th minute. Just to confirm, number 18 in, Jamal Telesford, and out was Trevon Williams. Jamal Telesford, who plays with FC Cameroon.
Casual defensive work here by the Crown City Strikers. And losing the ball, but regaining possession. Brave Boy pretty much involved now in every aspect of the offensive move of the Crown City Strikers. Looks a bit tired to his Brave Boy.
He did a lot tonight.
Good pass. Good takedown as well. But good hustling from the Cannons. Brave Boy here playing very conservatively now.
He's tired.
See Benjamin Etienne? Robbie, we saw him up front, but now playing a lot more defensive.
I think he just ran back to show some support. The coaches now are asking for more box-to-box players.
Pass forward here, Joe Max Wildman has his work cut out for him, but comes up trumps on this occasion.
Very good goalkeeping there by Joe Max. Reminding us why he's the first choice of the Crown City Strikers.
And from all intents here, he was trying to make himself big. You see the arms are spread out, the legs open apart, and really making the goal look smaller for Theodore.
Good technique by Joe Max Wildman.
But a read on goal here now. Crown City Strikers, a foot race here. But goalkeeper coming off his line here for the heavy touch from the striker.
Yeah, that looked like Monroe. Or even a Travis Fullerton, sorry.
Offside, the call here. Crown City Strikers defense looking a little bit disorganized now.
Might be seen a sub for Brave Boy, yeah.
So Brave Boy comes out and makes way for Stephen St. John. Are we and your man Tevin Grant getting a bite of it today as well?
Yeah.
Usually a starter, but not in the starting lineup today. But still been called on here is Tevin Grant.
Grant took a haircut as well. You know, he's not sporting his usual dreadlocks. Sporting an afro tonight. Not seeing the player that he replaced in the absence of the substitution board by fourth official Julian.
So Coach Jelani Glean seems obviously that he wants to strengthen the defense now and maybe to consolidate. Good save here by Joe Max Wildman again.
Sub was also made there by Royal Cannons. Biter Andrews, Brian Biter Andrews came in.
Look at the save here by Joe Max Wildman again, Robbie. Really having a good game. We saw some beautiful saves from him, and he continues to impress us.
Michael Mark was a replacement for Tevin Grant. But Tevin Grant replaced Michael Mark.
That's Tevin Grant getting his first touch on the ball.
I'm surprised that Brian Andrews on the field, because the rules of the tournament is you're allowed to make 5 substitutions, but with only in 3 occasions. And they already made subs in 3 occasions. Yellow card. To Griffith, Raheem Griffith. We knew eventually they've gotten a yellow card based on how he's been playing tonight. He needs to show a lot more calm as a defender.
Whiteman goes to goal, but not challenging the goalkeeper on this occasion.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next we have the grand final.
So we have under 5 minutes left in this the third place playoff in the Pure Grenada Cup. A match that has been led by the Crown City Strikers from St. Patrick, and they're leading 3-0 at the moment. And the second in the doubleheader tonight would feature the championship game between the Big Parish Stars and the Western Stars of St. Mark.
We're going to see a lot more viewers on the live tonight for that game. Who's it going to be? Western Stars? Is it going to be the Big Parish Stars?
The Stars will shine tonight, definitely.
Certainly. It's a consolation of stars tonight.
Joe Max Wildman almost beaten and shadowed by his defense here on the front post, but nonetheless he had it covered well.
Another corner for the Cannons.
Good to see Kenny Francois coming up, maybe to use the height advantage and the strength as well.
Always dangerous in the air. Always. Always that aerial threat. Missing a voice. Robinson.
Joe Max Wildman again punches out. Another cross comes in. Looking for Roma Frank. Andrew. But no danger for Joe Max Wildman in the end. So you can see definitely that the Crown City Strikers opting to play a more defensive style of play in the 9 stages of this one. And you can't really wrong them for that. They're leading 3-0. We just want to maybe maintain a clean sheet as Joe Max Wildman continues to keep the goal very safe for the Crown City Strikers. Here comes the Royal Cannons again.
I thought you'd have played it wide for Abaita Andrew. You know how dangerous he can be.
Grant looking to find the outside right. This white man who doesn't control nicely here and loses to Benjamin Etienne. Clumsy tackle here. Foul on Al Romain. That's Al Romain here. You said, Robbie, very diminutive in stature.
Yeah.
Can pack a big punch.
Yep.
Good move forward here by the Crown City Strikers again. Has a look on goal and plays it back to find the on-rushing Courtney Francis. And Courtney Francis missing the upright by not much. And that would have been goal number 4 for the Crown City Strikers.
And that would be the icing on the cake for the night for Crown City Strikers. I'm sure they're still pressing Coach Lee to ask them to press for that 4th goal, especially losing 4-0 in the semi-final. They would love to erase the memories of that with a 4-0 victory here against the Cannons.
There they come forward again down the right-hand side. Still has it in the end. Losing out in the end, and it's going to be a corner to Crown City Strikers. So that was Travis Fullerton there making the offensive run.
And linking up there with McQueen, Mark McQueen. Dead ball specialist, Stephen Whiteman.
Goalkeeper goes up and fumbles with the take. Still inside of the penalty area now. Baita Andrew called to do some defensive work.
Minimum of 3 minutes will be added on to the second half. A minimum of 3 minutes.
So we're in the 90th minute of play and 3 minutes will be added on for stoppages. I think it's a dead rubber here now. I think it's a foregone conclusion as to who will be the winner of this one. Leading 3-0 and with an opportunity here now. Whiteman inside of the penalty area, but taking too much time and not having good control of the ball, allowing the defense to recover. And it's going to be another corner for the Crown City Strikers.
Yeah, I don't know if he was shocked by being in possession in such a deadly area in that final third. But he took way too long to pull the trigger and eventually given enough time to Raheem Griffith to recover for an eventual corner. In the background, we see the Western Stars warming up for the final in their clash.
Still within the danger zone here, and it was Travis Fullerton who had a crack on goal here. Mark McQueen involved here, goes out to find Whiteman, who's going to slow things down. Still managing to find that one, and that may be goal number 4. Indeed, is goal number 4.
Travis Fullerton, calm finish. Another defensive blunder by the Royal Cannons. Cause and effect.
Well, the replacement goalkeeper really gave it maybe his best shot. Remember, he's an on-field player who has been asked to keep goal here, and all he did was to provide a nice service to Travis Fullerton, who had no options whatsoever but to send it back home into the old onion bag, Robbie, to give goal number 4 to the Crown City Strikers. And that may just be the final nail in the coffin of the Royal Cannons.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, so much you can expect from a team with a man down. Entering the half, 2 goals down. kudos to Coach Modeste. He still gave a good fight, made aggressive substitutions. Because when you look at the subs he brought on, Benjamin Etienne, Romain, Andrew, all attacking players. So that's it.
Referee Devon Roberts opting to play 2 minutes instead of 3 for the time added on for stoppages. But nonetheless, it's the end of the third place playoff in the Pure Grenada Cup 2020. A game dominated by the Crown City Strikers from St. Patrick. And the scoreline definitely indicated so. 4-0. We had goals in the 29th minute from Chad Mark, in the 45th plus minute from Leon Braveboy. We also had Jose McIntosh in the 74th, and I think it was in the 90th minute from Travis Fullerton, the 4-goal scorers tonight. So the goals have been spread across the field for St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers. A deserved win, I would think, as well, having been humiliated by the Big Paris Stars in the semi-finals. As a matter of fact, they lost 4-0. But coming back and returning the favor to the Royal Cannons.
Yes, a bit of favor there to the Royal Cannons. Yes, congratulations to Coach Green and the St. Patrick Crown City Strikers winning the third place playoff tonight. Good effort by them, especially from Leon Braveboy.
Yes, so we always try to come up with the player of the game, and Robbie, you were saying Leon Braveboy. But I still go for Joe Max Wildman. I thought he was very, very good in goal. He had some impressive saves. He was marshalling the defense well. He was even playing the last stopper on certain occasions. So Joe Max Wildman would be my player of the game. And of course, as you said, would have been Leon Braveboy. Leon Braveboy having scored the second goal for Crown City Strikers. As a matter of fact, that was his third goal in the tournament. But Joe Max Wildman being just as impressive as well. So viewers, we're going to end the commentary on this one here. But we ask you to stay tuned. There's going to be the money game, the champion of champions in the Pure Grenada Cup, so to speak. The finals between the St. Mark's Western Stars and the Big Paris Stars from St. Andrew. It was a game, as I said, dominated by the Crown City Strikers, but nonetheless, the Royal Cannons playing with one man down since the first half really gave a good account of themselves in the second half. But it was just not enough for the Crown City Strikers on the day. So on behalf of Robert Samuel, the first, I'm Leslie Smith and the entire team here, Richie Olivier and all, we say goodbye for now, but stay with us. Momentarily, we'll be back with the finals of the Pure Grenada Cup.
Hey, did you know Waggy Bingo is now online? Yes! And did you also know you can win up to $10,000? Yes! So, have you tried it yet? Yes! Hey!
Sunday, October 18th.
Get ready for the 8th edition of Waggy Virtual Bingo! Lots of people are enjoying the fun and excitement. And this time, you can win $10,000 US. Tickets are only $10 US or 27 EC. Available from gotofet.com or numerous box offices island-wide. Still having problems signing up? Then visit the main office at Bruce Street or call 440-4646. Remember, Sunday, October 18th.
The games are virtual, but the cash is real.
Waggy Virtual Bingo, the new way to play bingo.